Well, Dan from Bastille, welcome back to South African airwaves. It's so wonderful to have you back with some new music. We can't wait. We obviously also know you've got a special relationship with South Africa, which makes this even cooler for us. And I was actually just thinking, I was at your Wild World tour as a non-professional radio DJ in Cape Town in 2017 when you performed, I think you did a No Scrubs cover. Was that a part of your act then?
Yeah. We did a cover of No Scrubs on our second mixtape, where we used the guitar riff from Angels by the XX, the song No Scrubs, and loads of quotes from the film Psycho, kind of imagining that Norman Bates is a scrub because he lives at home with his mama. So so that's been like a part of our set on and off for ages. In fact, when we were in Atlanta, we nearly sung it with the remaining members of TLC, but like it was all done and like ready to go, and then on the day something came up and they didn't show. So that's a story, having been stood up by TLC, but they loved it. Like one of their sons heard it on the mixtape and like played it to his mum, and we got the seal of approval from the original people. There I was thinking sacrilege, but yeah, you definitely would have heard that. That's a real thing.
Well, I definitely rather have been stood up by TLC than never have been in TLC's lives. So on the scale of things, you're fine.
For a brief moment, the remaining members of TLC knew that we existed, and that, is that not? I'm going to have that on my gravestone when I die.
No, man, it's incredible. And I mean, the whole of South Africa, I mean, I know that we're heavy in COVID, so we're not going to be seeing you guys soon, but you know how much you're loved here. I think the first time that you came down after Pompeii came out, you were selling out comfortably all tens of thousands of seater venues and stuff. So we're very, very excited about the new record. Where are you looking forward to going again soon? I see you've got festival bookings and stuff up.
We have a couple. Yeah, we have a couple in the UK. I think they're trialing festivals here in a sort of like under the umbrella of like safety protocol trials. So we'll see. We're doing a couple with an orchestra this summer, but it's just I guess everything is so up in the air at the moment. I think I'm so excited to come back to South Africa. Like I've got so much family there. My mum and dad are South African, obviously, and so it's always amazing to come here because it's a beautiful country and there's like so much to see and do. But for me, it's like an amazing opportunity to see all my cousins and my aunts and uncles and my cousins' kids and stuff, who I've not seen in ages. So that's obviously very high on my list of places I'd love to go. But to be honest, other than I went to Serbia a couple of weeks ago to shoot the video for this song, and other than that, I've obviously not left the country since before the pandemic. So basically just getting on a plane, going anywhere it feels like incomprehensible to me at the moment. It would be so exciting. But I guess mainly, I do miss playing gigs, and I miss that kind of, it's always such a nice, like affirming, reassuring thing to know that people want to come and see you play your songs. But really, like, I feel so lucky, that we've been able to just record and make music this year. It's been such a privilege to sort of take touring. I mean, obviously I miss it, but touring not being an option, to be able to do one of the things that I love and write songs and do stuff in our studio and do stuff at home and do stuff over Zoom, like a lot of people, work has become quite Zoom focused. But for so many people around the world haven't been able to do their job at all, or do what they love or do any of the things they love. So just to even have that one thing has been awesome. And what's come out of it is an album that we're completely obsessed with at the moment, and I'm so excited for people to hear it.
So I'm also so excited. I love the Goosebumps EP. Surviving was my favorite record of that EP. And you guys actually put it in that little collection that you put up on Spotify a little while ago called Drink. So I was listening to that quite thoroughly. Thank you for tweeting that it wasn't the new album, because I was like, this is all these other songs I've heard before. And then you guys were like, don't worry, it's a theme, don't panic. And then I had the good fortune of being allowed to listen to a Distorted Light Beam. And it was really interesting because I don't know if it was the fact that we've all just gone through COVID, which has been such a miserable and energy sapping experience and caused us to rethink what life is about and how to live it. And then I was getting so much of a sense in Distorted Light Beam, quite different from Goosebumps, about this real kind of heaviness and dissatisfaction that you had expressed in this song about how life is and how the person in the song had been living their life. And then this kind of theme of I want to imagine and dream of a better one and I need to make it right right now and I need to cause a riot right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure COVID is a part of that process and that thought process because we've all been experiencing it for over a year now, but have there been other things that you've really been grappling with about normal human life in the 21st century that gave you that sense of dissatisfaction?
I think this year with COVID and with all the kind of Black Lives Matter civil rights stuff, that movement that's happened, again, kind of around the world, it's that and a huge host of other massive things that have happened, have provoked a lot of conversations and caused a lot of people to have a think about things that are okay and are not okay, in our lives and in society, and on a smaller, more kind of personal level. I guess we've all lived indoors and inside, and we've all relied even more heavily than normal on our kind of relationship with technology. So I guess this album is thinking about the future and thinking about versions of the future and what that looks like for sort of different people and different characters, and how obviously more and more we're reliant on technology. We live via the internet through pretty much everything we do, and in some ways that's amazing, and in some ways it's there's all the information in the world available to you, and there's the opportunity to communicate and be in touch with people and all these incredible things. But also, there's also the sort of darker side of that and what it can do, to with misinformation and all of these different sort of slightly more negative aspects that come out of the internet and our relationship with technology. It's something that is on a lot of people's minds at the moment, particularly because we've relied so heavily on these things and these devices like this last year. So I guess, it's something that we're kind of thinking about, the sort of that tension between the amazing opportunities and possibilities that these things give, and also the kind of the darker side of them, and wanting just to, I don't know, I guess sort of explore that in a 3-minute pop song, and have fun with it. We always want to make music that's sort of interesting and different from the last thing that we did. And with this, I wanted it to be kind of euphoric and futuristic and like a different world. I see this album, this record, as like our science fiction film, but with heart and and trying to say something and have a conversation. So I think none of these ideas are like they're not like massively original thoughts on our part, but these are, I don't know, I feel like we've all spent a lot of this year kind of imagining and dreaming that we were somewhere else, so it's a sort of exploration of the power of dreaming, the power of imagination, the power of escapism, and the sort of like joy of losing yourself in fiction and in fantasy, because that's become a daily part of reality for pretty much everyone this last couple of years.
And I really loved it because, I mean, after the first verse and the chorus, which were really like interesting explorations of like the miserable heaviness of like the information overload and the fake news and what's real and what's not, and this kind of vacuous existence, and wanting like to break it, like the riot, and like distort the light beam. In verse 2, it was so lovely to be like, I'm deleting my history, I'm making a whole new world for myself. And you did it in the song, which was so cool, which is why you used the word euphoria. I felt like redemption, like there was a redemption arc within the song itself, even in just a 3-minute pop song, which is fantastic, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And yeah, it was I feel like when we're making our songs, we always like fall down the rabbit hole a little bit and go into the world. And often these songs that end up at 3 minutes, there are kind of like 10-15-minute versions of them in all the different parts that we write and all the different verses that I write. And it's always I always sort of, I guess, make a rod for my own back when it comes to doing way too much and then wanting to kind of reduce it back to the most minimal form. But yeah, it's I'm really happy with where it ended up, and to have all these to have this voice box, and there's this instrument called the electro spit, which is like makes you sound like a robot.
Yeah.
Singing, which Kyle plays on this record, and takes you to like a whole other world. But then also to have these big live strings on it as well, like it's got kind of all of these elements of music that I love, and yeah, hopefully it's completely transportive and just sort of takes you away.
For sure, man. I mean, look, I'm so excited for the album. I've been a fan since Pompeii, and I'm sure many people in South Africa have. But I've been thinking about it with you guys in the last few days. Like, you guys have been so, and I'm not just trying to flex for you here, like so relentlessly successful. Like every album has been so impressively impactful, from like Doomday's Wild World, Bad Blood, the happiest single with Marshmallow. Does that make you feel more pressure or give you a sense of freedom when you're creating the next album in like a lineage of success stories?
I feel like, and thank you so much for that. Also, by the way, your analysis of the song was really appreciated, and I need to write that down and start saying that in interviews, if that's all right.
Yeah, you can. You don't even have to quote me. It's cool.
I wasn't planning on quoting you. I was going to fully steal it. Yeah, I guess like with, you know, I feel like within what we do, it's often quite left field, and we do, you know, we've had all these mixtapes and moments and singles, and within that there'll sometimes be really, really mainstream commercial moments, but like a lot of what we do, you know, kind of, I think, sort of flies under the radar. So we just approach every new release as if it's the most important thing. And like last year, being able to work on the Goosebumps EP and all our reorchestrated stuff alongside this album,
sure,
you know, and other stuff we're working on, it's just, I love being able to juggle these things with these different themes. And yeah, I guess, you know, the Marshmallow song, that Happier, was, you know, was something that I wrote for someone else and ended up staying on. And it, you know, it's kind of wild being part of something that's that huge globally, and but also being able to step back from it and, you know, let Marshmallow own that moment and kind of watch from the sidelines, be like, oh, that's mad. Like, that's completely I guess the thing, when it came to this new album and you know, and this song, it was more about collaboration, because in our albums proper, usually we, you know, I write everything and work on it with the band, and then produce it. I co-produce with Mark Crew, who's been like our long-time collaborator, and he's amazing, and I love that process and I'm really proud of it. But I think we thought, like, this is our 4th album now, and we want to keep things interesting, keep things fresh, and so even though we were locked down, we ended up working more with other people than ever. Amazing. You know, a lot of the work that I do writing for other people and being in songwriting sessions for other artists, I sort of like tried to fold a little bit of that into this process, mainly just because trying to do everything yourself after a period of time, like it's fun, but it means that you then carry everything. So I thought, like, you know, like, fuck it, let's just like collaborate, let's try working with all these amazing people out there. So yeah, like it's been interesting going from like one of my best friends, Ralph, who's in like a little British indie band, writing songs with him, to writing with, you know, Ryan Tedder and these MXM people in the States, you know, these like huge pop people who I really admire, but it's such a different world. And then like just like other mates in the UK, like it was if anything just a nice reason during the pandemic to like hop on another Zoom with 2 people and hang out and chat and write songs, and then, you know, we brought everything back to our studio and worked on it all, and it was great. I mean, there's 3 songs on the album that I wrote with this guy Rami in one night. Yeah, we had like, and it was evening for me, morning for him, and we ended up writing 3 songs that I love and that are, you know, really important on this record for us. And it's I guess it's a really modern, really locked down way to make an album, but I feel like what comes out of it is hopefully this big eclectic thing, you know, that's, yeah. But I also think it's probably our most cohesive album ever in terms of like themes and era and stuff. So as you can tell, I'm happy to waffle about this till I'm blue in the face. But I'm really excited. And you know, it's just like, once this song is out, it's like, you know, it's going to come thick and fast, and yeah, I hope people are up for coming along with us on this weird science fiction ride.
Well, I mean, they always have been, so I mean, I'm sure they will be, and everybody loves a concept album. There's a kind of fitness about performing live. Like, I mean, having seen you live, like, you get in with the people, man. You get stuck in, you get into the crowd. You were up on a balcony at Grand West Casino. It was wild. And now you have not done that for a little while. Do you think there's going to be a bit of a freshman's nerves on your first live gig again after so long?
Dude, yeah, I'll probably be asleep by the 4th song in. I'll be like, oh, hang on, it's 11 o'clock at night and I've done 5 songs. Yeah, I'll probably need a little sit down. Yeah, me and my friend just signed up for like a half marathon, which I don't want to do, but I thought would probably be a good way to force me to get sort of vaguely match fit again. Can
I tell you, I 3 weeks ago did a half marathon while doing the show, having never done one before, because my interviewee holds the South African record for half marathons. So I was like, let me see how long it'll take me to do it. I'd always wanted to do it, but when it came down to it, somebody had to force me, like you said, like you needed a reason to do it. So the fact that you're being forced to do it, I think it's going to be easier than you think, and you're going to enjoy it more, but someone's just pushed you over and it helps.
Yeah. when choice is taken away, sometimes it just makes you're like, well, I'm going to do this. Dude, congratulations. That's amazing.
It was wild. It was on a treadmill also. I don't have any knees anymore, but we're doing our best.
But yeah, no, it will be, I'm very interested to see what our first show back, like if it happens, our first gig back is going to be like end of July, so pretty soon. But we're kind of holding off rehearsing until we know if the gig's going to happen or not, because obviously things with COVID are so up in the air. But yeah, I mean, I need to practice quite a lot. I'll probably have no voice left after like half an hour. But yeah, we'll see. We have to, I guess, all be kind of vaguely optimistic and hope that at some point in the future things will be safe enough for everyone to go back on tour and do these things that we love. So
for sure,
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
All appendages crossed. Well, Dan, listen, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on the record. Can't wait for the album. And I'll certainly be telling everybody that whatever you say about the song was my words, whether you admit it or not. Because we're both Dan's, right? So I can do it.
You take commission for press releases? Like
No, I don't. I just take the good feeling that somebody who's given me good music for such a long time is using some of my words for once.
Thanks so much. It was good to see you, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. See you soon.
Do take care. Bye-bye.